Welcome back to another episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. I am your co-host, Anthony Carboni. To my left is my other co-host, Justin Velche. Woo! We got our soccer league starting next week. We are hyped. Went out to practice yesterday with the boys. We're getting ready to go. Major changes coming to my team this year. I'm running it, so things are coming. We're going to win again. That's the goal. But not enough about that. We're going to talk about some hockey today. The Rangers, his Avalanche, the fraudulent Oilers, and the Boston Bruins. We're gonna talk about all them series. But first, we gotta say what's up to the boy, Justin. How we doing, man? How we doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm low key stressed, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We got some other series to talk about. It's all right. It's all right.
I think we can leave that one last then because it's very important. So, what do you want to start with? I think we should just lead off right away with the series that is finally over. The New
I
York
think
Rangers.
I think we should.
The New York Rangers. Now, I think when we left off Tuesday, they win? Where did they play?
Oh,
Monday. No, Monday. They played game 5. Yeah, Monday was game 5. So Tuesday we recorded, and the Carolina got the 2 games that they won. So
yeah,
it was 3-2. We last left.
yeah.
So major implications for yesterday's game on Thursday. And starting off the bat, the Hurricanes scored the first 2 goals, and I was a little concerned for the Rangers. Now, Hurricanes have been coming out like hot in these past 2 games because they know it's do or die. And they get the first 2, Natchez and Jarvis on the power play. And then I want to say it was Panarin or shoots it from the point. Trocheck tips it in. It's
Yeah.
2-1. And then
Aho scored
Aho
in the second.
1, Pasha Sturkin. So heading into the third period of game 6,
Carolina
the
fans
Carolina
were pretty hyped. They were pretty hyped. They thought
pretty
they had it
hyped.
in
They
the
were up 3-1 going into the third period. However, none other than Christopher Kreider to give himself a
yeah.
natural hat trick and sealing the deal. And the Rangers, for the second time in 3 seasons, are heading to the Eastern Conference Final. Kreider gets the first one. I think it was like off Anderson and in. He shot it from like the goal line. The second one, Panarin shoots it on the power play, tipped by Kreider, and then Ryan Lindgren making that unbelievable play, going all the way around the net to set up Kreider across crease through the like I said, through the crease, and the Rangers get the game-winning goal. Barclay Goodrow, gets the empty netter to seal the deal, and the Rangers, like we both said,
Let's see.
would move on to the Eastern Conference Final, and they did. Rangers, other than Montreal, they're my other team. We love these guys. Justin and I have been glazing these guys for so long, how good they are, and we find it like we're right. We were right again with
I
this
think we're
one.
right. Yeah. Yeah, we're right. I mean, as good as Carolina, what they did at the deadline, I just didn't think they were good enough to beat this Ranger squad. Chris Kreider, I mean, just completely went ballistic. I mean, 3 goals in a span of 9 minutes. Yeah, I mean, the Rangers, they started off really slow, and you could see like the Carolina was obviously playing for their season, like their season was on the line, so obviously they were going to start off hot. But again, it's just I don't know, man. It's kind of maybe it's just a mental thing in Carolina because again, this is another year where they were up there for Stanley Cup favorites. I mean, they was only
They were the favorites going into the playoffs, right?
what?
They were the favorites going into the Stanley Cup
Yeah,
playoffs.
yeah. And dude, they were tipped to beat the Rangers this series. Like a lot of betting apps had the Hurricanes winning the series. So it's just I don't know if it's a Brindamore thing. I don't know if it's a culture thing in there. I don't know what it is. But
I
man,
think that's
it could be Brindamore. I don't know. This is again another heartbreak for the Carolina Hurricanes because they're close but kind of far, and it's another second round exit. And I don't know where they go from here. Honestly, I don't know. It's just and that's one of the worst things being a sports fan is when your team is like you don't know what your team's gonna do. You don't know whether they should trade off some pieces. You don't know whether they should keep adding in the off season. Because now it's just unclear. It's just foggy now for the Carolina Hurricanes. So I kind of feel bad for Canes fans, but they should have got this done already, and it's just not working.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I really, they've had Brindamore for all these years, and every time they get to the Eastern Conference Final, they get swept. Last year was a perfect example against the Panthers. 2019 against the Bruins, and then a couple second round exits. Like this one, first of all, they dug themselves a hole going down 3-0. Like rarely in this NHL. I think it's happened maybe 5 times in history that a team has come down from 3-0 to win in Game 7. And the Hurricanes dug themselves a hole going down 3-0 early, right? Like, there's no excuses there. Now, there's a lot of free agents that are hitting the market, UFAs. I think Natchez is one of them, Martinook, Jordan Staal. There's tons of guys that, could be moved. Yeah, I really think that I think they need to shake it up. Like, you got your guys like Aho, Svechnikov, Jarvis, you got your guys, you got Slavin. Honestly, I really think they need to move away from some of these veteran guys like Martinook and Staal. I mean, it's not working for some reason. As good as the Carolina Hurricanes look on paper, it's just not showing on the ice. And I feel like a lot of how they are playing it relies on the coach, Brindamore. Brindamore's been there for time. He believes in his team, but the results aren't showing, and it's getting to be a cycle every year where the Hurricanes are going in favorites. They're looking good in the regular season, and then they get bounced in like round 2 and sometimes round 3.
Yeah.
And another early exit. I would say this is a regression from last year, considering they went to the conference final last year. And to lose in 6 to the Rangers, I mean, it's tough. You were in it for the first 3 games. You lost in overtime twice. You lost by 1 goal in game 1. So you were there, but in the end, you didn't have that guy with that oomph to go and score a big goal in the big moments, and you lose in 6 games. So what do I think the Hurricanes should do? They should do a retool. I think they need to make their decisions on who they should keep, who their core guys are going to be, number 1. Number 2, what UFAs do they want to keep out of the bunch that are going to be free agents? And number 3, do we make a coaching change? Because I don't know if Brindamore's their guy anymore. It's tough to say because he won the Stanley Cup with them in 2006. I think Laviolette was the coach at the time too for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very tough. Brindamore's a great coach, but I don't know. I think his contract is up now. I think the Hurricanes might move in a different direction, and we're going to see a whole new Hurricanes team heading into next year.
Yeah, I think with this contract up, I honestly don't see a reason as to why they should resign Brindamore. Like they really haven't. Yeah, they've made it to the playoffs and second round conference finals, but the ultimate goal is the Stanley Cup. And how long are you going to keep at this with Brindamore? Like I really like Brindamore, but it's just not working anymore. So I think you don't want to keep him for a long period of time, and then it's still not working, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Also, I saw this thing on Twitter. It is like, oh, the Carolina Hurricanes have been eliminated by Vasilevsky and Shesterkin and Tuukka Rask. And I'm like, yeah, sure, you could say they're getting goalied, but I mean, the Leafs, you could say, have been getting goalied for how long? And fans get tired of that same narrative of getting goalied. It's a matter of scoring goals. Okay, no more excuses. This Carolina Hurricane team was good enough to make the final. They were good enough. Okay, they could have been the Rangers. On paper, they were good enough, and they just couldn't show it. So you know what? I don't really know where they should go from here. And it's tough for Carolina fans because they're a really good hockey squad. But man, oof, it's just a major oof. That's what it is.
But on the positive side, the Rangers are in the conference final again. So I'm very excited to see what they can do. They're halfway there, living on a prayer, all the way to the Stanley Cup. We said the winner of the series would go to the Stanley Cup final, and I truly believe no matter who they get, Boston or Florida, I think it's a magical year for the Rangers. It feels like 94 all over again, even though we weren't even born yet. Later, but whatever, It's okay. YouTube thing, right, where we could just watch Mark Messier scoring the winner and the Rangers winning. So yeah, but it feels very special for New York. We've been saying it all year, even in September. We're like, the Rangers have to win this thing, like now, or this is like their best chance of winning. This is the
Yeah.
best Rangers team I've seen. This is the best Rangers team I've seen since like 2014. Like it's been like for like 10 years. Like this team is gross.
Yeah.
So for them to make it to the Eastern Conference Final, again, we're not surprised. A
Not for
lot of
me.
people are surprised, but we're not because we have the OP hockey knowledge. So let's move on to another Eastern Conference matchup. The Rangers, who are the Rangers going to play? So last we left off, it was 3-1 Florida in the series against the Bruins. And then, like I said on the podcast that day, the Bruins need to come out strong, score the first goal, and play a tough matchup. And they did. They did exactly what I said they need to do. And they win 2-1 tough in Florida. So huge game 5 win for the Bruins, heading back to Boston. No Marchand for that game either. So it was pretty, you know,
It's
they
pretty
had
good
to
win.
be
Pretty good team effort right there in
you
Florida.
you had to send a message, and now you're back in the series. You're only one game off, and you're going home. Game 6 is tonight. What do you think, man? Like, does Florida close it out today, or do you think the Bruins force Game 7?
You know, as much as I hate to say it, bro, the Bruins are going to force Game 7.
That's what I think. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And dude, ugh, I really,
Is it going to be a reverse from last year? Is it going to be a reverse from last
you
year?
know, that would be probably the most funniest thing I've probably ever seen this season if they do the reverse 3-1. But like, man, I just get a feeling that like the Boston Bruins, like, dude, they're always in it somehow. Like they're always fighting, and it's like, dude, this is the day where it's like I wouldn't be
Without their
shocked
captain, without their
without the captain.
captain, dude.
Like, they barely squeaked out a win in Florida, only conceding 1 goal to a very good Florida hockey team down south. So I mean, down in the Sunshine State. So I mean, you know what, dude? The Bruins are gonna win this like 4-3. Like I already,
I think they force Game 7.
you know, and it's like I've already seen this Bruins team so many times as a Leaf fan, so I already know what's gonna happen. So it's okay, bro. Bruins are gonna win. Then they'll go back to Florida for Game 7.
Like
It's
it's pretty similar with the Rangers, but like the Rangers are younger. But Boston, I feel like this is their best chance at also going after a Stanley Cup too, right?
because only
The Bruins, like 5 years are not going to be a good team. I don't think.
yeah,
I mean,
dude, that they're
you'll
winning
have
close.
Swayman, McAvoy, and Pasternak, but like other than that, I don't know how good these guys are going to be. It seems like they're always in it. 2019 they went to the Cup final. 2020 they went to they lost in the second round in the bubble. Then they lost to the Islanders in round 2. Then they lost in the first round 2 years in a row. But now this is their best chance right now. And I think with the way they played in Game 5, they can carry that over tonight. We're gonna see a Game 7 on Monday night, or is it Monday or Sunday? I don't even know when Game 7 would be. I think Sunday. I think Sunday would be Game 7, but I don't know. As for the Panthers, I mean, the goal scoring just dipped completely. 1 goal in Game 5 in elimination at home. Swayman stood on his head. I mean, we've been saying Swayman's, saving these guys, and I thought realistically that they were going to take him out after those 2 home losses, but no. Montgomery stuck with his guy, and he pulled out a very gutsy win. I'm assuming it'll be Swayman versus Bob tonight anyway. So
yeah, I mean,
yeah, I don't think the Bruins are going to force a Game 7. And I had Bruins winning in 7. You had Panthers in 6. So your prediction could be right today. But if not, we go to Game 7 in Florida. Who knows what can happen there?
Yeah, I mean, look, Swayman, like he showed up, like he knew the season's online, and he showed up. He saved what 35 out of 36 shots in Florida. I mean, look, if the Bruins somehow make it to the final, I mean, and let's say they win the Stanley Cup, dude, Swayman's got to be the Conn Smythe winner. I mean, he's just unbelievable. And you know what, dude? Like, he's keeping their season alive. Game 7 against Toronto, Game 5 in Florida. Will probably stand on his head again today, Game 6, and could potentially stand on his head again at Game 7. So, I mean, you know what, dude? Like, goalie's gonna goalie.
I've wanted for like even last year I predicted it, Bruins Rangers conference final. It just has to happen. Like two of the probably like the 2 biggest like sports cities in America. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
I'd say with like, because they have the Boston has the Celtics, the Sox, the Patriots, the Bruins, and then the Rangers have, New York has the Rangers, the Knicks, the Yankees, the Giants, all of that, right? I feel like the 2 major cities have to clash eventually, and that's gonna be an electric series. I really hope it happens for my bracket's sake and for hockey's sake. Rangers Bruins would probably
dude,
be like series.
Dude, it would be so fire. It's just I just don't want to see the Bruins advance because that's all.
I know. You know what they
But,
did to
but,
Toronto.
but as a sports fan, like as a neutral, yeah, dude, Bruins, dude, Boston, New York, in any sports capacity is like the ultimate, series. Like
Huge, right?
Red Sox, Yankees, huge rivalry. Patriots, Jets in the NFL, huge rivalry. Like Boston, New York, those are just like just a clash every sporting event. You know, so. But yeah,
Well,
no,
hopefully we can find a matchup in Game 6 is tonight at 7 o'clock. So definitely going to be watching that tonight. Moving on to the Western Conference, the Battle of Canada. Last we left off, the Oilers tied the series, I believe, if I'm correct. They did tie the
yes,
series
yes.
when we okay. And yeah, they bring it to 2-2. It was a really gutsy effort. I'm shocked that the Oilers didn't score more than 3 goals, considering the amount of chances they had in that game. But Seelovs, man, Seelovs, I did not expect him to be this good. Like I really did not expect anything. Calvin Pickard was the starter in Game 4. He played really well. Bouchard with I think it was 2-1 Oilers, and then the Canucks score with I don't know, a minute left. It was Besser off
And
of
then
skating in, and then
yeah,
Bouchard with 30 seconds left just throws one from the point and scores. We go 2-2 back to Vancouver. Both of us saying that the Oilers should win this game in Vancouver and then bring it to Edmonton. Well, I mean, the Oilers go up 1-0 off of Evander Kane with the 5-hole shot, and Carson Soucy scores as well, and then off the point.
Look at
Coming
that.
back from Mississippi
Scores.
right away. So he scores, and then Connor Brown passes it to Janmark 2-1. And from there, I think did all the goals happen in the first period?
No. And then Di Giuseppe scored in the second period to make it 2-2. And then there were no
Yep.
goals until late in the third when JT Miller. Well,
30.
actually, Hoglander hit the post with like about 5 minutes remaining, and Canucks fans were like, "Oh no, that's the end. Like the Oilers are going to score." But no, that did not happen. JT Miller, with about 30 seconds left, he scores the game winner. Now they had it under review for I think a couple reasons. One, it was offside. They're looking at the offside, which there was no offside. Then they're looking for a hand pass, which there was obviously no hand pass. And everybody kind of stood still when JT Miller scored because they couldn't tell if like it hit the post or did it just sneak up like in like
It went right under the bar.
Yeah. So they couldn't tell, but the referee pointed at the net. JT Miller scores. Their captain. Boom. 3-2. And the Canucks seal it.
Their captain. It's Quinn Hughes is the captain.
Oh, sorry. See,
could have argued it could have been Miller that got the captaincy, but he's playing electric after all the slander he gets online. Power play merchant, whatever. I mean, he's scoring big goals in big moments, and the Vancouver Canucks lead the series shockingly to me 3-2, going back to Edmonton for Game 6 Sunday night or tomorrow night. Sorry.
As much I've already discussed how much I hate the Oilers, so I really hope they lose this in 6. But dude, like, I don't know what it is. I think I know what it is. I mean, these guys that they added, they're just not performing. Like, we could look at Adam Henrique. Okay, he's injured. Sam Carrick, he's not even playing. Who they added at the deadline, by the way. Evander Kane, yeah, he scored yesterday, but what has he done since then? Absolutely nothing. Then you have Corey Perry, who's in multiple playoff rounds, multiple playoff years, has just been that X factor, okay, pushing guys, scoring cheapy goals, and it's like, what have they done since? Absolutely nothing. So I think the Canucks have been like, okay, these guys that they added, right, have done nothing so far. So all they have to do is really focus on the main McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman. That's pretty much all they got to look for. Because it's working. Because they don't have to focus on the other guys as much as they got to do with Draisaitl and McDavid. If those guys like Evander Kane, Corey Perry, Adam Henrique, if they were actually doing their job, dude, this series could have been over already. Like the Oilers just would have been unstoppable. But dude, the Canucks are doing a phenomenal job. JT Miller doing a phenomenal job. Pedersen still hasn't really been in the series, but I mean,
that's what I was going to talk about. You see how the Canucks are doing this without the production of even Quinn Hughes. I mean, he's got the tough task of blocking McDavid and Draisaitl up. He's not really on the score sheet. Besser in this series has been a little quiet.
And Hronek has got like no points. And dude, so
Vancouver's depth and their defense and their And Seelovs is what is winning, is how they're leading the series right now, is why they're leading the series 3-2.
You know
But
what?
all honesty, this will go 7. I know it. I know for a fact this will go 7 games. I said it as soon as Vancouver won. I'm like, it's got to go 7 games. Edmonton is going to come out on fire game 6. And honestly, it's a fucking coin flip from there if it goes 7. I really do not know who's going to win this game. Considering how, I mean, it's a battle of Canada, two of the best teams in Canada. They have to go to 7.
You have to go
Now,
for all.
I don't know who's going to win. It's literally 50-50. My question is are the Oilers going to go back to Skinner, or is Pickard going to get the start in game 6? Personally, I'd say go Pickard.
Yeah, Pickard. Dude, Pickard's giving up the less amount of goals. Like Skinner, he hasn't played in 2 straight games. Why would you throw him in? He's going to be ice cold. And even before you pulled him, dude, he was trash. So, bro, you got to keep Pickard in that, bro. Like your season's on the line now. Like remember, like dude, the Oilers season's on the line now. Like what? Like easy series things. All of a sudden, dude, they're 1 game away from getting eliminated. So 60 minutes away. So I mean, look, man, Oilers fans, they got to be stressing out of their boots right now because, bro, this is a tough situation, man. Like, it's funny for me, but man, Oilers fans, yo, second round exit, no, unacceptable.
So moving on to our final matchup, Colorado Avalanche versus the Dallas Stars. Last we left off, the Stars went up 3-1 in the series. We talked about Nichushkin's situation, going to Dallas for game 5. It's tough. You lose a good guy like Nichushkin, but the Avalanche come out strong. Or did they come out strong? I don't remember watching the game. I know you were, so I want you to lead this one. Because
No, you see,
I don't watch Colorado Avalanche hockey like that.
well, the Avs, they were again kind of struggling to start the game, which has been pretty much a theme throughout this whole series. I mean, Pavelski scored his first goal after we called him out, by the way, so he must be listening to our show. He did score his first of the playoffs, and then Lehkonen scores with a second left in the first period, by the way, on the power play, assisted by obviously the greatest player in the National Hockey League right now, Nathan MacKinnon, and then Heiskanen scores to make it 2-1. By the way, Heiskanen probably going to be a Norris winner in the next 2 seasons. Absolutely insane. Already his 5th goal of the playoffs. Then you have Makar on the power play from Drouin and Rantanen. And then in the third, you had going into the third, Avs are like, okay, 20 minutes left, the season's on the line. So they decided to step up. Casey Middlestad, who they added at the deadline, scores with a minute into the third. Then you had Makar getting a second of the game to make it 4-2. Then Stankoven scores 4-3. Avs fans were kind of nervous here because there was about 15 minutes left in the third. But then
Cale Makar. All hail Cale. Look at my man.
All hail Cale. And then to seal the deal, none other than obviously Nathan MacKinnon scores to win the game. So MacKinnon, he got called out and he even said it himself that he needs to be better after game 4 when being down 3-1. And that's exactly what he did. 2-point performance, and he put the team on his back along with Cale Makar. And now all of a sudden they are going back game 6 tonight at Ball Arena with the altitude. So I mean the Avs, even with them down 3-2, I still have full faith in the Colorado Avalanche. I've learned to never discredit them, and I've learned to never count them out. So as long as you have Nathan MacKinnon playing and as long as he's healthy, this Avalanche team has got every shot in the world. So I still got Avs and honestly, I really don't care about Dallas Stars. What's this coach again? What's his name? DeBoer? Yeah, I really don't care about his unbeaten record in Game 7. You know why? Because we got Nathan MacKinnon out here, okay? And you know what he does come playoff time. You know what he does in those clutch moments, okay? Look at that goal and assist in Game 5 when his team was down. Yeah. Tonight he's gonna have another 3-point performance, and then Game 7 we'll see, okay? And again, as long as Georgiev wants to make saves, if Georgiev wants to actually be good, okay, the Avs will be fine. It all relies on him still, so it's okay. Avs winning today, good dude. There's no shot they're gonna lose in 5.
Another game 7. We're gonna have the Oilers are gonna force game 7, the Bruins are gonna force game 7, and the Colorado Avalanche are gonna force game 7, and we're gonna have some amazing hockey over the next weekend. The Rangers can sit nice and pretty, chilling, waiting for their opponent. As for the Western Conference, I think the rest of the series go 7 games because the second round has been awesome. Like if this think about it, if the Hurricanes won, all of these series would like most likely go 7 games. You know how crazy that is in the second round?
No.
It's been fairly the hockey's been very competitive. I haven't seen any teams, because I feel like the second round is where all like the good teams in the playoffs finally meet, whereas we had
Yeah,
like a lot of the front quads in the first round,
like
getting beat out pretty easy.
in the Leafs.
Yeah,
France.
Tampa, Leafs, Jets, Kings,
Jets,
Preds, all
obviously.
of them. So exactly. So it's good hockey, and I really think the rest of these series are going to go 7 games.
Oh
Now, as
yeah,
for who's going to win, I don't know, man. Like I can't predict. I think when the time comes, and if they actually go 7, then I'll actually make a prediction. But like, man, tonight, Avs, Dallas Stars, Bruins, Panthers, and then tomorrow the Battle of Canada on Hockey Night in Canada. So
what time's that game tomorrow? Yo,
it's got. I hope it's not at 10 p.m. I'm
oh,
gonna check right now.
8 p.m. 8 p.m. 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Oh well, I'm going to the Toronto FC game tomorrow, so I can't even watch it. But
Mm,
it's all good. Tonight we got Bruins Panthers at 7 p.m. and then tonight we have at 10 p.m. Dallas Colorado, and then tomorrow we have an 8 p.m. start between the Edmonton Oilers, Vancouver Canucks. So
yeah, so
I think we're gonna leave it there. Call it a day. Actually, before I wrote an article last night about who the Maple Leafs head coach should be, and I was looking at the odds. Rod Brendamore's third. You know that, right?
yeah, I mean, again, this whole contract thing with Carolina, and if maybe he doesn't want to return to Carolina anymore. I mean, look, I don't know. It's tough between Berube and Ron Brindamore. Like Brindamore, I really like, but I mean, he just couldn't get over the hump with that Carolina team. So what do Leaf fans like? What would make me think that he could get over the hump with this Leaf team? You know what I mean? Like we've seen Berube get over the hump with the St. Louis Blues, Game 7 in Boston. But what has Brindamore done to get over the hump?
Man's getting a phone call.
Of course, spams, bro. Like just spam calls, like waste.
Always.
But no, like honestly, like so that's why it's like it's really a tough situation here as a Leaf fan. Like, who would I want? Like the Stanley Cup winning coach, or would I take Brendan Moore, who just can't get over the hump? So I don't really know. I really got to sit on that one and think because man, that's a tough call.
Wait,
Uh,
you don't want Todd McClellan being the next Leaf coach?
no, I'll pass. I'll pass on Tom McClellan. I'm telling you right now. Okay, Berube, Brendan Moore, and McClellan. McClellan's the third option. Like it's simple. Why would I take him before Brendan Moore or Berube? Like sorry, what? Remember, dude, he was with that Kings team, and the Kings were flying at the start of the season. And then what happened? Trash. Then he got fired. Like it's simple. Like I don't want Tom McClellan. I'm sorry. Like I don't want that. I don't want him. I don't want him. I really don't want him. Please. And I'm sorry, Bruce Boudreau. I know you're a big Leaf fan, but you could be an assistant coach. Maybe run our power play. Maybe that. Bruce, there it is. But as a head coach, I'm sorry, bro. Your record in Game 7's not good, and yeah, that could just become really sour really quickly. So I'd rather
Oh,
not.
I agree. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. Leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends, and look forward to Game 6 tonight between the Panthers and Bruins, 7 o'clock on Sportsnet, wherever you get your hockey. And then later at 10, we got the Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche. So we got 2 Game 6s to watch. Go watch them because Justin and I are definitely going to be watching them.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see you guys next. What are we, Tuesday? We do them Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Friday. So we'll see you guys Tuesday. Maybe we'll do one on Sunday, depending on if we get Game 7 or not. We got to do a Game 7 preview. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care and peace.